And we're live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining tonight here. Just going to let the room fill up a little bit here. Going to be popping through a couple of windows. If you are in the chat, please say hello. Let me know you're able to hear me here on the stream as you're filtering through here. All right, it looks like we have some folks coming into the chat room here. Yes, Megan, it is a good sign that I survived the hurricane. As a matter of fact, I figured we'd do things a little bit differently here tonight. Yeah, I normally do the cruise news, but with the hurricane coming through, there's been a lot going on today. Decided to do some exploring here, just kind of around town, just to make sure everything was going all right in my neck of the woods. Hang on, let me keep setting the setup here. I forget to do some of these things here. Perfect. So I figured we just jump on and do an impromptu live stream. Hello to everybody jumping in. We've got Mama Red, April, Eddie, Jennifer, and Debbie. Hello to all of you. Thanks for checking in here. It's been a hurricane-y day here in Central Florida. If you don't know, I am in Orlando, and Hurricane Nicole came through. She made landfall about 1 in the morning or so. We started getting the effects last night, and honestly, it wasn't the best night's sleep. I was up pretty early checking out everything that was going on. But luckily, again, no damage here, thank goodness. Hello to everybody else coming into the room here. We have D&J Adventures. Hi again, Eddie, Tom, thank you very much. I am safe and sound. Thank you so much. Anybody down here in Florida that made it through the hurricane or that's in Georgia, maybe in the path, can sound off in the chat. So we're going to go through, and this is going to be like an old school midship style episode. If you're new here, I started off on the channel by sort of doing the little news article with me in the corner reading and providing some commentary. And we've got some cruise news that we're going to be talking about today. We've got the brand new Royal Caribbean terminal has just opened in Galveston, Texas, a really cool facility. I was watching another channel's boarding video from that terminal. Really, really awesome. Hello, Tina. Welcome to the chat. And also in the cruise news, we've got a sneak peek at the new MSC Seascape, a ship that I'll be taking on her inaugural cruise here in 1 month and 1 day. So getting pretty excited for the Seascape, as well as we've got news coming out about cruise ports, whether they're open or closed down here in Florida. Some more updates to ships and itineraries that were unfortunately affected by the hurricane. And we need to talk about Norwegian. All right, let's get things started off, though. I want to talk about the cruise ports. Right now, as of now, I'm going to switch views over here. As of now, most of the cruise ports here on the east coast of Florida, they remain closed. So if you're looking to cruise in or out of Port Canaveral right now, or, well, Miami is now open, but up north here, Jacksonville, Port Canaveral, they are still in condition Zulu. So they are closed. But we're going to take a look at this article coming out from Cruise Hive by Robert McGillivray. This is about the Port of Miami reopening after Tropical Storm Nicole / Hurricane Nicole caused some cruise disruptions. So let's begin here. Cruise schedules can resume again now from Port Miami as they've announced they're open again for all cruise ship traffic after the closure due to the hurricane. Hurricane Nicole caused significant issues for several cruise lines as ports on the east coast of Florida remain closed. However, Port Miami has now decided to lift all of their restrictions and return to normal operations. The busiest cruise port in the world sustained no significant damage that would warrant a further closure, ensuring that cruise ships from the Carnival Cruise Line and Celebrity can make their regular calls today, which is really cool. So no more issues for those cruisers, and we don't foresee any more issues coming through for the rest of the week weather-wise, which is a good thing. Now, we've not heard exactly what happened to some of the cruise ports, if damage was sustained and how bad it was. I know this went right over Freeport, Bahamas as she was turning in to a Category 1 hurricane. So we're going to have to check out and see if anything went down in Freeport, Bahamas. Now let's turn to the chat. Who else do we have dropping in here right now after our first cruise news story? We've got Leanne Pierce. Hello. And Mama Red, you leave Sunday on Allure of the Seas from Galveston. You're probably going through that new terminal. If you get through there, why don't you post some pictures of it on the Midships Facebook page. It's just Midships. You can search for me. Be a great spot to share. That's a community that I need to do a little better job growing, and with your help, I could definitely do that. So I'd really appreciate that. And taking a look behind the scenes, let me actually go to the full camera. I don't do too many of these live streams, so I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. Since we're talking about that new Royal Caribbean terminal in Galveston, let's go ahead and take a look at our next cruise news story of the day here. This one is coming out from cruiseradio.net by author Sarah Brett. And again, it's about Royal Caribbean's new terminal in Galveston. On Wednesday, Royal Caribbean officially opened their brand new $125 million terminal in Texas, where Allure of the Seas was the first cruise ship to dock. The line held a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the facility's open, which also marks the Texas debut of the largest class of cruise ships, and that is the Oasis class, of course. Royal Caribbean's executives, government, and port officials, as well as their partners, celebrated the achievement, including one U.S. representative, blah, blah, blah. Royal Caribbean's president and CEO, Michael Bailey, was also in attendance. That's the name you're probably more interested in. And here you can see, wow, just take a look at an Oasis class ship next to this cruise port. Oh my goodness. Well, that gives you an idea of exactly how big the cruise port is, because those ships are absolutely monstrous. That is a really cool facility that Royal Caribbean's been working on there in Galveston. It's very, very environmentally friendly. And just seeing some of the video and the pictures from inside the new Galveston terminal today, I was watching Hoffman Happy Travels. I don't know if you follow that channel, but they put up an embarkation day video from the new terminal, and it's a great, great place. You just walk inside, and there's huge TV screens already waiting to greet you. A lot of seating, a lot of comfortable places in there. Let's take a look at chat before we get into our next cruise news story. We got a lot of people hopping in all of a sudden. We've got Eddie Albert, number one, thumbs up. Hit that like button. Yes, Eddie. Thank you very much. Make sure you do hit the like button. All right, and Eddie, you also have a question. If I had a 7-day cruise and cannot board for 2 days, would I only have a 5-day cruise now? You know, math was not my subject, but I would think you would have a 0-day cruise if you can't board at the first port. Most cruise lines, you do have to board at your embarkation port, or else you're not really making that cruise, Eddie. So unfortunately, hopefully you can reschedule it. Maybe you could try that instead. Megan, you say Carnival says the Elation will call on Freeport this weekend. Thank you for the update. Yeah, just judging by the weather that we saw here, I mean, it was like 60-mile-an-hour winds, and we had almost the same gusts as they had out towards Port Canaveral. I'm not all that far away, so I could see the cruise ports being in pretty good condition, just minor cleanups of debris. All right, Chris Lopez, you just got off a cruise in Port Miami Sunday. Crazy, they're getting hit by a hurricane. I know. Margaret, hello to you in Utah. Megan hopes that Bimini is all right. Yeah, Bimini, that is one of those sort of newer cruise ports. Have any of you been to Bimini? It's a pretty fun place. I've highlighted it a couple times here on the channel. You know, I'm not sure that I have any cruises scheduled to call on Bimini. I've got a lot of cruises, actually, some that you don't know about yet. Maybe I'll mention a cruise or two here on tonight's live stream for those of you who turned up here. Mama Red says that Oasis class ship is almost 1,200 feet long. Yeah, that is a big ship. Hello, Emmy. Thanks for joining. And Dave, listening from California. You're a long way away from us here in Florida. Hopefully the weather was a lot better for you today, Dave. Now let's talk about a ship that I'm going to be going on here in about 30 days. It's MSC's newest flagship here in the U.S. I'm going to switch over here. And this is an article from cruisehive.com written by Kendall James Vargas. It is about some of the new dining options and the exciting features on board the new MSC Seascape, which will begin operations December 11th out of Miami. And here's a picture of the Seascape. It's, again, another one of those Seaside Evo class types of cruise ships, like the Seashore and the Seaside was the original in the class. There's a lot of C's, and it's very tongue-twistery for me personally. I don't know if you struggle with that as well. But MSC Cruises' new U.S. flagship, the Seascape, will give guests enhanced food and beverage experiences, offering 11 eateries and 20 different bars as the ship launches this December. The 169,000 gross ton ship's culinary options will include 5 specialty restaurants, as well as 20 unique bars with global cuisine and specialty cocktails. And yeah, there are some really, really cool restaurants that they're going to have on board here. I'm going to scroll down. Obviously, Butcher's Cut is the name of the steakhouse on board an MSC cruise ship. It's pretty similar across the board. They do a brunch on sea days, which is only like 13 bucks. It's all right. It really depends on the day. I've had it a few times now, and sometimes it's very impressive. Sometimes it's not the most impressive thing, and I wish I'd saved my money. But this upscale steakhouse, it's a very good dinner if you've never had it. If you're looking for that nice, New York style steakhouse, this is it. Butcher's Cut on the Seascape. Another really cool venue they have, it's more of a casual venue. It's called Hola Tacos and Cantina. Obviously, Mexican inspired dishes. They also have like a really good margarita bar that's sort of attached to the Hola Tacos area. So, a really cool option if you're tired of the, rigmarole of your normal cruise drinks. Additionally, the ship will feature Kaido Sushi Bar, and that's going to provide a really cool experience. I actually witnessed this. I don't know if you can see my mouse here, but this little silver piece with all these bowls, these actually just kind of move past you and you pick off the sushi that you want. So, a really overall pretty cool way to do it. Very interactive, very Instagrammable or Facebookable. It's a great way to make the loved ones and the friends jealous of your cruise. This is a really cool place. Everything at this restaurant is priced by the color of the bowl. Fun fact. Now, in addition, there's also teppanyaki on board a 64-seat Japanese restaurant with 8 teppanyaki grills for guests. Of course, we've all been there. They, cook at the table your steaks, your chickens, the fried rice, all of that. I've not done teppanyaki on board MSC, but I've smelled it and it smells just about right. So it's probably pretty good. All right, on November 19th of this year, the new Seaside class MSC Seascape will depart on its 17-day grand voyage, an inaugural transatlantic cruise, leaving from Rome with destination New York City. After this maiden trip, the ship will be named at the Manhattan Cruise Terminal in New York this December 7th, making it MSC's new USA-based flagship, fully designed for the US cruise market, which is kind of interesting. This is really the first MSC ship completely designed here for US cruisers with US cruisers in mind. If you've never taken an MSC cruise, I'm going to go full screen here. There are folks from all over the world. There's a lot of Europeans, a lot of folks from Spain, South America on board, and you're going to hear multiple languages spoken and announced on these ships. So to see MSC is actually tailoring a ship for the American market is pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see exactly what they have in mind. Now, I think the chat has some things here. Oh, we've got a super chat from Eric. Eric, how you doing? It's been a minute. Eric cruised with me on my group cruise. What a great guy to get to know. Yeah, why don't we talk about the group cruise? We just got off the Carnival. What was it? The Sunshine. There's a lot of ships that sound the same. Had about 18 or 20 folks from the channel who came on board with me, and I tell you what, by the end of it, I think everybody knew each other so much better than I could have ever expected. We had a wonderful time in Nassau, Bahamas together. It was an adventure getting to the Queen's Staircase. The local tour guide was really fun and funny. I've got a new intro I'm working on for the channel that's going to feature some of the folks, actually, probably all the folks that were here on the group cruise with me, Eric being one of them. Who else do we have? Megan, I've been twice to Bimini. I'll be back next Saturday. Should have booked on Scarlet Lady. I know Scarlet Lady would be a great ship to go on. Let me know how Bimini turns out if she's covered in debris or still ready to go. Eddie, you said you heard MSC ships are beautiful. That I can verify 100%. They are gorgeous cruise ships. Service is a question. Please update us on what you think. Charlotte is getting the storm now, just in update. Yeah, Eddie. So I sailed on the MSC Seashore. I did 2 weeks on her in July, and then I did one more week on her. I think it was early October or late November or late September. It was a few months apart. I distinctly remember recording an episode of the five hits and the five misses for the MSC Seascape. And honestly, I think someone at MSC may have watched it because almost all of the misses that I had addressed were addressed by the cruise line. In my experience, I really appreciate the service I've received on MSC. Now, I do go out of my way to kind of get to know the crew because, especially with a cruise line with only a few ships, you're going to see these folks again and again, over and over. And there are crew on MSC ships, especially, who will notice me from other cruises. And I don't know. I think if you spend just this much extra time getting to know the other folks on the cruise, specifically the crew members, you're going 99% further than almost every other cruiser that they get to know every day. So you're going to get that little extra level of service. It's really a trick. I think that's honestly the trick. Just be nice, go out of your way to make people feel special, and they're going to do the same thing for you. That's kind of how I cruise. Eddie says, hit the thumbs up, folks. It helps out Captain Corey. Yes, it does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holly, hello, welcome. We have Tom. Tacoma Tom. Oh, I know Tacoma Tom. Tacoma Tom wants to know if and when you can put together a group doing Mexico from California. Huh, interesting, Tom. I'm actually doing Mexico from California twice in January. It is not a group cruise, but I will be on the Radiance, and then a day later, I will be getting on board the Panorama. That's around the 9th and the 14th, I think, when those cruises are sailing respectively. Radiance on the 9th and Panorama on the 14th. It's not a group cruise, but if you're looking for a cruise and you wanted to bump into me, it's a good itinerary, and the prices, you can't beat them right now. Tom, yes, we did meet on the Splendor. I remember meeting you. And we've got Christina. Hello from Brazil. Hi down there, Christina. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. We're getting into Friday here tomorrow. I'm excited. All right, we've got some other cruise news that we've got to talk about. We're going to do a quick story coming out from Viking. This is from Cruise Hive by Robert McGilvray. Viking has taken delivery of their newest ocean-going cruise ship, the Viking Neptune. It's the 12th ship in the cruise line, and it launches this year. So we'll do just a quick highlight. I know there's not as many high-end cruisers usually here on the channel, but there are some of you, so I do want to share this kind of info if that is indeed your style of cruise. Viking has officially taken delivery of its newest ship, the 930-passenger Viking Neptune. The Fincantieri shipyard in Italy signed over the cruise ship during a ceremony earlier. It doesn't say if it was today or yesterday. She's the 12th ship for now in the company in just this year, including 2 other ocean-going ships, 8 river cruise ships, and 2 specialized expedition vessels. Really cool. And, this is going to be a very similar ship to the one we talked about yesterday in the piracy episode, the Viking Mars. It's almost an identical ship, that one with the razor wire out around the side of that. Isn't that crazy? Did you have a chance to see that episode? I actually, some of the footage that I used in that, I credited another creator who actually works on a merchant vessel. And that was their footage from doing, their piracy setup. It was wild to see it. I was thinking about maybe doing like a small documentary on it to see if that's something that might hit the YouTubes pretty far. All right, Eddie, have you sailed on Celebrity? Ask me again on the 13th when I get on board the Celebrity Beyond. I am boarding Beyond on Sunday, this Sunday down in Fort Lauderdale. That will be my first Celebrity cruise. I just got an email from Celebrity about maybe hopping on Apex at the end of November. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fully make that. That's a pretty big commitment with a lot of other cruises going on. So we're going to see, but at least I will know the Beyond, and that's their current product, their biggest product. So we'll do a pretty detailed look at the Celebrity Beyond. Royal Cruisers, we've got a story that we're going to talk about for you here. Christina, see you at the Seascape. Awesome. We've got another Midships cruiser that's going to be coming along on a cruise with me. Can't wait. If you see me or hear me, please come over and say hello. That goes for all of you here on the stream. If you ever run into me or think you do on your cruise, I would love to get to know you and meet you because you are the reason why I'm here and able to do all of these cruises. So definitely make it known. I appreciate that a lot. And I'll be bringing around a few. I've got a bunch of wristbands from the group cruise, so I'm going to be bringing them with me on all of my cruises. And if I run into you or you run into me, say hey, and I can try and grab you a wristband when I see you all. All right, Royal Cruisers, I promised you a story. This is coming again from Cruise Hive by Melissa Mayance. Royal Caribbean is easing more restrictions for destinations, well, in Haiti and Honduras. So, Royal Caribbean has once more updated their health and safety protocols, eliminating pre cruise testing for guests traveling to Haiti or Honduras on cruises departing from the U.S. or Caribbean home ports starting, well, yesterday, regardless of your vaccine status. And that's the big change there. With this update, only guests who will be visiting Colombia, taking transatlantic sailings, or cruising from Australia will be required to pre cruise COVID test through Royal Caribbean. And that's maybe a confusing term. You don't test specifically through Royal, but for Royal Caribbean. And it looks like if you are on any of the sailings that would have been affected with testing, Royal Caribbean has reached out to you. So check your inbox. Maybe you got an update, a sweet, sweet mask-free update for your cruise. Um, so yesterday, late in the afternoon, the Norwegian Encore was docked in Panama and the gangway collapsed as guests were getting off the ship. Now, this has been sort of an obscure story. I found it on a cruise ship crew kind of forum news website, and it's finally filtered out to sort of the mainline cruise news outlets. But there's really no more information than what I shared yesterday. There were 5 ambulances. It supposedly, according to one eyewitness, the gangway was attached at deck 6 all the way down, probably would have been around deck 1 or 2 at ground level. Depends on the tides, a lot of factors, and if it really was deck 6. Needless to say, several passengers on board the Encore were taken to the hospital. At this point, it doesn't sound like anyone has passed away as a result of this, so that is always really good news to hear that. It's this story is something I've been watching pretty intently to see if any new information comes out. Let's see chat here. Megan, crazy pirates. That's right. Did anybody dress up as a pirate ever on a cruise ship for Halloween? I think that would be funny. Eddie, JJ Cruise did a great view on the celebration. Ship looks fantastic. Hope you jump on that ship soon. Eddie, I am hosting my next group cruise on the celebration. It's June 11th. It's a 6-nighter out of Miami. We're going to Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Mahogany Bay. Those are 3 of my favorite cruise ports to visit. When we are in Cozumel, we're going to do a beach day together at either Paradise or Mr. Sancho's. For anybody in the group who wants to participate, you do have to make your own reservations. I'm not paying for this, but you're invited to join me. We're going to all hang out, take over one of the swim out bars probably, and just have a great time. On Carnival's newest ship, the Celebration. And yeah, JJ Cruise, those guys, I had the pleasure of meeting them about a month or 2 ago. Now, it's probably 2 months ago now, here in Orlando. They were visiting family. It was right when Hurricane Ian came through, so about a month and a half. And just totally awesome dudes. Exactly what you see on your phone or your TV screen is what you get with those guys, and you couldn't ask for more than that. I think that's a true sign of a genuine person, and it seems like Jared and Jordan are just that. So yeah, subscribe to that channel if you want some information on the new Carnival celebration. Christina, MSC decorated as New York. Yes, I know. They do have a lot of New York themes inside their cruise ship. The Seashore had basically like a Times Square situation set up where the dueling or the 2 pianos are set up. It's a beautiful ship, and I think there was a big Statue of Liberty in the casino, if I am not mistaken. Eric Gibbons, woohoo! Can't wait for this celebration. Yeah, Eric, hopefully we get you back on board. Also, I have to send you a couple of those photos I took of you on the beach at Half Moon Key. So I'll send them to you on Instagram after this here. Let's see if there's any updates from this latest Cruise Hive article on this gangway collapse, though, that we were talking about here. Again, Cruise Hive by Melissa Miantz. While docked in Panama City, Panama on Tuesday, the gangway of the Norwegian Encore collapsed and several guests were reportedly injured by the incident. Emergency responders arrived quickly on scene and work began immediately to clear the damaged gangway. Guests on board the Encore reported hearing emergency codes announced over the ship's loudspeakers around 1:30 local time on Tuesday, November 8th, while the ship was docked in Panama City. Photos shared to social media have shown the gangway collapsed on the dock and damage to the handrails as well as multiple ambulances. And this is the source that I used yesterday, Genevieve at Giorno Genevieve on Twitter. If you didn't know, Midships is on Twitter at Midships Cruise. I might even be buying the blue check mark. I mean, let's get legit here, right? Genevieve, Journo Genevieve said, I'm on the Norwegian Encore in Panama. A gangway from deck 6 to pier 2 decks below has collapsed. So it sounds like it was about a 2-deck collapse. 5 ambulances, 3 police, and military are present. And again, you've seen the pictures if you saw my episode from yesterday. This article said that several guests were assisted via stretchers and wheelchairs to the ambulances, apparently with injuries, though no names or details have yet to be confirmed. So that's the update so far on the gangway collapse. Pretty scary stuff. But yeah, I guess nothing's really guaranteed in this world, is it? Christina, MSC is amazing. Yes, it is. Have you ever considered cruising on MSC? I tell you what, there's a reason why I've gone on it on probably 5 cruises now, just this year in the past 12 months. The price and what you get, it's really the real deal. I think MSC from 5 or 6 years ago is totally changed. So if you've given them a chance in the past and wrote them off, try them again in the next year or two. They've really done a lot and invested a ton in this US market here. All right, let's take things up to Maine. Yeah, Maine. You can cruise there. Did you know that? Uh, well, there's a cruise port up there that now you can't cruise to. So from Cruise Hive by Robert McGillivray, Cruiseport in Maine votes to restrict cruise visitors. Residents of Bar Harbor have voted to restrict the number of daily cruise ship visitors to the popular Atlantic cruise port. At most, 1,000 cruise ship passengers and crew will be allowed to disembark a cruise ship while in port in Bar Harbor, Maine, beginning in 2024. This was the outcome of a vote in the quaint seaside town on the Atlantic coast on Tuesday's election. The decision for residents will likely not be welcomed by the cruise industry, as Bar Harbor plays a vital role during the popular autumn cruises to New England and Canada. So what that means is if you're contemplating one of these cruises that goes through Maine, you need to do it in 2023. So if that is you, if you've been talking about doing a Canada-New England cruise, after this episode, and make sure you've waited till the end and at least left a thumbs up on this video, you should probably go book that cruise because that's going to be the last time that you're going to be able to get really guaranteed into Bar Harbor is the 2023 cruise season. So I guess that means I'm going to rush and make a booking as well because it's on my bucket list. While cruise ships play an important role in bringing money into the local economy in Bar Harbor, more than half of the residents said in 2021 that cruise ships have a negative impact on their town. A petition that was voted on Election Day in Bar Harbor had a very unwelcome effect on the cruise industry. Yep, we've already seen this. It's a little repetitive, this article. The feeling from locals is not surprising. Back in 2021, a survey found most Maine Bar Harbians? I don't know. Most residents of Bar Harbor were unhappy about the number of ships coming there. Yeah, so again, I get it. I understand. It's busy. You get cruise ships coming in. You get 2, 3, 4,000 people coming off in your quaint little tourist town. But you got to remember, there is more than just the cruise port up that way. There's a huge national forest, a major tourist draw in the area. Some of these cruise ports, they just kind of take it on themselves to try to keep all their natural wonders and beauty to themselves. And I guess that's my opinion, and they're welcome to theirs. And they voted on it. That's how that works. Eric, Captain Corey convinced me to sail MSC Divina, and I loved it. Can't wait for my next MSC cruise. Eric, I'm glad to hear that. Divina is a fun ship. It's one of my favorite ones. If you're a person who needs flashy things, though, always have to have the newest iPhone, AirPods, or car. Maybe skip Divina and go straight to Seascape or Seashore. That's going to be my recommendation to you for MSC. That way you get all the fancy, flashy things. I think Seascape even has one of these fun Robomatron arms. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Seascape Robotron. Yeah, let's see this. This is the Robotron. And it's over the pool deck. It's kind of an interesting thing. 4 people, that's not a ton. Well, 3 people, excuse me. Told you math wasn't my thing. But yeah, this is MSC's new thrill ride, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'm all down for the Robotron, but I'm going to try it when I'm on board, and we'll see how that goes. We've got one more cruise story that I want to talk about with Carnival. See if I can find this. There's been some confusion that I've read about. Yeah, here it is. About the Bolt roller coaster. You know, Bolt roller coaster, it's the one that they debuted aboard Carnival Mardi Gras, and now there's one aboard the Carnival Celebration. Well, according to guests on the Celebration, they're seeing a different amount charged to ride the Bolt between both ships. One is $15, one is $19, and there's been so much confusion, Carnival has had to respond. All right, and this is Melissa Miantz via Cruise Hive. Carnival Cruise Line clears confusion over roller coaster fee. Just how much does Bolt cost on board the Mardi Gras and the Celebration? Carnival Cruise Line has clarified the attractions price on both ships. I'd be surprised too if I was expecting 15 and they asked for 20. With interested guests concerned about fees for Bolt, the ultimate sea coaster on the new Celebration, the cruise line has clarified the cost of the attraction as well as what the cost includes. Bolt first debuted on board the Mardi Gras with great interest, and an identical sea coaster is now open on the Celebration. Bolt, the ultimate sea coaster, is an extra charge attraction on board the cruise line's Excel class ships. The cost, confirmed by Carnival representatives, is $15 per passenger for each ride, and a ride consists of 2 complete laps around the roller coaster track. As Carnival Celebration has debuted in recent days, there was initially some confusion that Bolt cost $19 on board the new ship, but the confirmation of the price was posted to Carnival's brand ambassador's Facebook page, Mr. John Heald. Really cool guy. John says the charge is 15 on Mardi Gras and Celebration as well. The confusion could be the result of several factors. Oh no, they're blaming YouTubers. Oh no, why did I read this? Some YouTube tours and reviews of the new ship included information and discussion of Bolt, noting the price might be 19 bucks, but without direct confirmation of signage, reservations, or receipts noting the fee or the actual charge. Speculation considered the idea that okay, yeah, that's a weird. Maybe it's just me reading funny. Anyways, Bolt is 15 bucks. It's not 19. So there you have it. Let's check in on chat. All right, Eric, what we got here? Eric, I'm so happy I got to stop in Bar Harbor in 2019 on Norwegian Dawn. Really cute, quaint town, and the Acadia National Park is awesome. That's the name of the park escaping me here tonight. No to the Robotron. Yeah, the Robotron doesn't look as impressive from that video that we just saw. It looked kind of cool in the pictures, but yeah, like 3 people just getting spun in front of the whole pool deck. That'd be worse than participating in the belly flop contest, if you ask me. That's it for the cruise news. If any of you have questions, you want to pop in chat or anything you'd like to say, I'll stick around for a few minutes here in the chat room if you want to take a look. If not, be sure you hit the like button before you head on out, no matter what today. That goes a long, long way. This episode will be posted up later on. It should auto upload. So if you missed anything, or if you want to fast forward to a specific section, we'll go ahead and get all of that done. So, if there's nothing else going on in the chat here, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for stopping by the Midships today. Until next time, as always, we'll see ya on the Midships. It's really glad to have this hurricane behind us. Hopefully, that's the end of the season. I was watching the Weather Channel. They said there's only been one other named storm later in the year than this one. It happened, I think they said about 20 years ago. So kind of interesting. I think they're actually watching another system out in the Atlantic right now. So we'll see. But that's the note. Oh, these came in the mail. Actually, they got delivered at 5 a.m. during the hurricane. These are celebrity sized luggage tags because I only have Carnival sized. And also got some new carabiner magnets. I'm testing them out. I like to test things out before I put them in my Amazon store. These are 50-pound strength magnets. I can't get them off my fridge. So the one that's on there, it lives there permanently. Um, Interesting stuff. Yes. Thanks for coming into a live chat. Is it Jeannie? Am I saying that right? Or is it Jenny? I am so bad with names. I'm sorry. I try to do the best I can, but man, I stumble. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do it for tonight's live stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I've got new cruise news coming out tomorrow afternoon. Have a good one.